Number 7 is asking you to write the following expression involving radicals in exponential notation. So let's do that. So remember, when we're writing this with exponents, the power goes on top, the root goes at the bottom. This is the 7th root, so you should have 7 at the bottom of the fraction. This is being raised to the 6th power, so 6 will go on top. We'll have 6 over 7, so x to the 6 sevenths. So let's type that in. So we have x to the 6 sevenths. That is number 7. Number 8, same deal. We have a power of 5 and the root of 6. Root goes at the bottom of a fraction, and the power goes on top, so you have x to the 5 over 6. That is number 8. Number 9, it is asking you to simplify the expression using the properties of exponents and then write the expression in radical form. So let's do that. Okay, the rule says when the bases are the same and you're multiplying these when they have exponents, you add the exponents. So we add 5 over 6 plus 1 over 3 and we'll get 7 over 6. So that is actually the first part of our answer. It says exponential notation first, so let's type that in. So let's type in x to the 7 over 6. Okay, first part's correct. Now I want you to write it in radical form. So let's go back and rewrite this in radical form. So writing this in radical form, we need to remember our rules with fractional exponents. The numerator represents the power, the denominator represents the root. So it is the 6th root, and then we're going to have the x raised to the 7th power. So 6th root and x to the 7th power. So let's type this in. So typing that in, we have 6th root and x to the 7th power. That is number 9. Number 10, it is asking you to simplify the expression using the properties of exponents, and then we're going to write this in radical form. So let's do that. Okay, the first thing I notice is that each of these are being raised to the 1/2 power, so we need to bring that exponent into each of these. Okay, so I'm going to raise 49 and the x to the 1/2 power, and we're going to raise the 64 and this x to the 1/2 power. Now I'm going to rewrite these. I'm going to put the 49 to the 1/2 power and 64 to the 1/2 power next to each other being multiplied, and the two x's both to the 1/2 power being multiplied. Now think of what the exponential notation means in terms of radicals. Numerator is going to be the power, the denominator is going to be the root. So 1/2 is going to be square root. So you're square rooting 49 and 64. The square root of 49 is 7, and the square root of 64 is 8. So then what I do is I'm going to be multiplying the x's, but since they both have exponents, we add them. So 1/2 plus 1/2 is 1, so that will give me just x. 7 times 8 is 56, so we have 56x as my answer. If I begin my answer, I'll have 56x. That is number 10. Number 11 is just asking me to rewrite these in exponential form. So let's take a closer look at that. So rewriting the first term in exponential form, remember the numerator is the power, the denominator is the root. Now my root is 5, so that should go at the bottom. My power is going to just be 1 because we don't see this x being raised to anything. So we'll have 1 over 5 for the exponent. Remember though that there is a 1 there, we just don't see it. So we'll have x to the 1/5 first for the first term. The second term, we have x being raised to the 3rd power, and this is a 5th root, so we'll have 3 over 5. So we have x to the 1/5 minus x to the 3/5 as my answer. So let's type that in. So we have x to the 1/5 minus x to the 3/5. Number 12. It is asking you to write the expression in exponential form. Notice how these are exactly the same thing being multiplied to itself. Since I have 3 of them, multiplying that to itself 3 times will give me a perfect cube as my result. Since these are all cube roots, it is going to be asking me to take the cube root of a perfect cube. So that's going to give me a nice answer. In this case, it will be my radicand. Now that happens in many situations. If I were taking the 4th root of each of these and I had 4 of these here, my answer would just be the radicand. If these were square roots and I had 2 of these being multiplied to each other and the radicands were the same, my answer would just be the radicand. So my answer is just going to be 9a. That's my answer for number 12.